Let's load in the image plane first. I will go to the front view, hit Shift and V back and select image. I will also increase up the transparency. Now we are good to go. The first object I am going to add in, as you can guess, is a cylinder. Now let's go back to the front view and adjust the rough size and shape. That seems fine. Now I will hit N and B to see the wireframes, and the first thing I am going to do is remove the high segments. Then I will make it editable. Tab C. Go into polygon mode, select these polygons at the top. Go to the front view, hold down Ctrl, move these up to extrude, then scale these down. And one more extrusion, hold down Ctrl. Let me scale this a bit more, hold down Ctrl, move these up. I'm just trying to model the rough shape, so I'm not going to get into these details. Now let's remove these triangles. I will first make an inset, delete these, then use close polygon hole tool in patch mode. Close the hole. I want to align this new geometry with the world, so I will rotate this around until I get a match. Looks nice. I will do the same thing here. Select these. Let's make 2 insets, move these up, and delete the polygons and apply the close polygon hole tool. It seems like these are aligned with the world. Now I want to add in more geometry. By the way, let me turn off the work plane. So as I said, I want to add in more geometry. The number one reason is that I am going to twist that puddle around. So we need even polygons, square polygons, to do that as efficient as possible. So let's drop in a loop and increase that up until we have something even. I want basically every polygon to be as square as possible. Looks nice. I'm going to add in 1 loop here. 3 loops on these polygons, as this part of the bottle will not be deformed. Now let's drop this one into a sub-D. Hold down Alt and click on sub-D icon. Now let's check the shape. We should get a match. I'm going to drop in a loop around here to tighten up that area. Then we can move that down just a bit. And finally, let me select these points and move these down. Okay, that looks perfect to me. This is going to be our checkpoint in a way. I will duplicate this, hide the first one, then make the second sub-D editable. I know we have lots of points, polygons, etc., but this is necessary to model these details on the bottle. So now what I am going to do is twist the bottle. So to do that, I'm not going to use the twist deformer. Instead, I will be using the FFT Deformer. So let's hit N and B to see the wireframes, then hold down Shift and add in an FFT Deformer. I'm going to right off increase up the segments to say 14. Then I will go into points mode, select the FFT Deformer, go to the front view, rectangle selection, and select these points. Hit R, start to rotate. Just to make things easier to see, I'm going to hit N and B, then hit Shift and B and offset the image plane. Simply, I will try to match the flow to the bottle in the image. So let's start to rotate. The more I rotate these bottles, I mean the points of the FFT, the more I lose the outline of the bottle. So to maintain that outline, I'm going to duplicate the first object. Let me hide this one, unhide the last bottle and make it editable. I'm going to call this Pro. I'm going to hide it back, go back to the mesh that we are working on. Then I'm going to select the object, hold down Shift and add in a shrink wrap deformer. FFT Deformer should be at the top because first the object should be deformed, then it should be projected on a proper mesh. Speaking of proper mesh, I'm going to select the shrink wrap and use the projection object as a target object. Now let's go back to the FFT Deformer and start to rotate this again. This time around, you will notice that we maintain the outline of the bottle. This is exactly what we want. Now, there is another problem. when I rotate these points, as you can see, it is affecting the top polygons. So to prevent that, I'm going to hit 0 on the keyboard to grab rectangle selection, hold on Control and deselect these points. I will try it again. Yeah, now it is less visible, the effect of the rotation on top polygons. But just in case, I will deselect these as well, then rotate them one more time. I think we can rotate this exactly minus 90 degrees. This part though is a bit squishy, you know. To relax that area, I can select these points and rotate them just a bit. Before applying these deformers, just to make sure that the flow is correct, I'm going to turn this off and make a selection. We can select these ones. I'm going to select the first polygon, then hold on Control and Shift and select the last polygon. I will do that on that side. Then I'm going to first I will create a material, classic material, right click and apply it to the selection. Just to make it easier to see, I will set this to red, click off, then enable these deformers again. I'm just trying to make sure that the flow is the same. To me, I believe we can go back to the FFT Deformer, select these points down below and rotate them like so. Now we can apply these deformers, right click, connect objects and delete. We can remove these materials and selection. Now it is time to make selections and extrude these polygons. So let's select the object, deselect everything. I want to simply select every polygon loop. But as you can see, at some points, there is not going to be a match. And this is happening because of the flow down below. So I am thinking about deleting these polygons. Let's select these polygons in the middle, then group up the selection a few times until we reach a loop like here, then delete them. By the way, let's apply fit circle tool. Okay, now I will do the same thing over here. Select these polygons, group up the selection, delete. Now I should be able to make perfect loop selections. But instead of doing this one by one, we can use the pattern selection tool in Cinema 4D. So first, I'm going to select that loop, then go to the select and click on pattern selection. Now I need to set the direction of the pattern here. And finally, I'm going to increase that up until it goes all around. Perfect. Click on apply, hit E. Let's not forget to add in that loop in the middle to get that area. So I'm going to hold on Shift, select these polygons. So now I will start to deselect polygons. We can start from the bottom. I'm going to hold on Control, deselect these polygons, and for the top part, I can tap 0 on the keyboard to grab rectangle selection and deselect these polygons by holding Control. Now I will tap D, extrude these out, and then hold down Alt and put this object under a subdivision surface. Now to make a smooth transition from here to down here, I'm going to use a deformer, which is called smoothing deformer. So first, let's go into object mode, Alt and Shift, and add in a smoothing deformer. This is going to smooth out the whole mesh, so we need to offset it. To do that, I will go to the fields and add in a linear field. I will change the direction to +Y and move it up. Now I will tap T, scale it down, and go to the remapping and play around with the settings until I have a proper result. I'm going to hit NNA just to compare these. Right click on the smoothing deformer. Sorry, right click on the object and click on connect objects and delete. I'm not too concerned about the bottom as this part is not going to be visible. I just want to close that hole. Right click, close polygon hole tool. To blend these parts a bit better, I'm going to select every edge. And then right click and dissolve these out. This is just going to create a better flow. And lastly, I will make a loop selection, then fill, and inset. For the top part, I can double click on these ones, circle tool. You can dissolve these out. The top part doesn't look straight, so why don't we just delete them? Maybe delete these ones, move these up. I will also hit Shift and V to bring back the image plane to the center. So I will type in 0, move these up, NNG. I will move this one into proper position, then make a loop selection, UNL, extrude these out. To cap off the hole, scale, hold on control, scale in, then use close polygon hole tool. Let's call this bottle and move it down. I believe we could wrap up the tutorial. Hope you did enjoy and learn something new. If you have any questions, just let me know anytime and I will see you in the next tutorials. Bye.